Hi guys, welcome to my workbench on part 9. Well, I have to tell you some things and you better take notice because I did not go the normal way. Say build the receiver, realign them, or build the transmitter and did everything on that and showed you that. We didn't do that at all. It's just I went on to from that receiver straight onto the transmitter on part 8. You saw the frame and the parts put into it, but I didn't go further on that either. So I'm now in front of you. You see the power supply. I did the frame of the power supply. I have two circuits on here, octal sockets, the male sockets, that is. So this one will be onto the transmitter, and this will be the power supply for the 12 volts and the 235 volts. So I had a great deal of thought about that because it is not a simple something simple to do. So it's quite an undertaking because we don't get the vibrator for 12 volts anymore. I look myself silly on the internet and everywhere and on the radio market. Absolutely not possible, no go on a vibrator, so I have to do something else. So before we get to that, I will show you our we see that the front, I have to drill that still. I will do that. That will probably be the main thing what goes on here. So I'll take this off for a minute. So I'll show you the box as there, bottom, top, yeah. See where we get our transformer. Where is he? Oh, there. Hold on. I want to show you what I'm going to do. I think that it will be interesting for you as well. So good. So this transformer I put on the frame is the similar transformer. I decided because I want to have our how you call it, our 12 volts in there. This transformer is not suitable, okay? So I want to move it this way. This is my choke what I need. This is my transformer I need, and I have my valve. And well, I'll do it the other way around, that way. Okay. And our valve comes here. That's about it. And this side here, this side I will use for my 12 volt setup. I'm not sure yet. Perhaps I put it underneath anyway, so because I have more room there. Okay, so I could suffice with doing it this way. It gives me a bit of more room on the front because we have here our socket coming in and the other socket is on the bottom. So I have to see how I'm going to do this, but this is about mainly what I was thinking. So put our choke. So choke is about 50, I think. Have a look. 60 milliamps. So our set won't use more than 60 milliamps. So that will be fine. That's what I want to do. And well, you can see what I've done. I used a lot of aluminum from projects I didn't finish. So you can see this on the side. But it doesn't really matter, nobody's going to see that. So what I'm going to do next is to shut the camera down, and I will let you see what I'm going to do with our 12 volt setup. So how we're going to do that, okay? Hello guys, there you go. I will show you what I found on the internet. That was this, but those transistors, they are not available. So I came up with something better. Anyway, my friend Egbert sent me a schematic, and I think there's a far better solution. And speaks for itself. So the only thing I'm going to do is to use 2 transistors instead of 1. So I will put them in parallel. So I suspect that it will be about 4 amps that this whole thing is going to draw, because it has to go at least 60 watts into it. So that's about nearly 5 amps, really. And well, I will want to keep those transistors cool, that they don't get hot or anything. So that's what I'm going to do. So what I'll do next is to get it all assembled, get myself a new transformer, and yeah, let's see, this one is not suitable. This one. It has 2 6.3 connections on there, and it has 2 times 350 volts, so I think I will lower that a little bit to 300 volts, so that is more than enough. 350 volts, well, I don't know, see what happens. I have a transformer in my cupboard, so 6 volts, so I have to change this to 120 ohms. Perhaps I can try see what's coming out of it, see if the frequency is, what I understood is 20 Hertz to 60 Hertz, climbing when it's been drawn on, so yeah, see what happens. So I'm going to use this instead of that vibrator, so it's a lot more efficient, I suppose. Well, the vibrators are not available anymore. I looked myself silly on the internet and radio markets and whatever. So no, there was nothing there. So unfortunately, but there again, I have to make myself another transformer. Well, it takes me a bit more than a day, I think, to make that. That's no problem. So I have to reconsider what I'm going to do. Anyway, you saw what I made already, so what I'm going to do next is drill those holes in there and put those 2 octal male sockets in there and take it from there. So the only thing I'm going to do is to separate those connections via that socket. So I will, there are 4 connections, 2 connections to one part of the socket and 2 connections to the other part of the socket. So if I plug that in, that is connected up, so there is no voltage going back to our transistors. So make sure that they stay whole, that they don't destruct for one reason or the other. So guys, so far so good, and I will carry on with my constructing. As I said before, I will come back to you in another part, okay? Okay guys, you can see my suitcase, my SOE suitcase. You can see the receiver and you can see the part of the transmitter. I'm going to show you with our box what we made. Put that in as well. There you go. That will be our power supply. You get an idea how it's going to look like. And we have, of course, we have here the openings for our Morse key and our headphone, okay, and other things, but still fit in there. The other thing I want to do is have our antenna here. This will be our bulb, those two. You can put the antenna in here, then the bulb will light up. If you put them here, the bulb will light up at all. And this one, this hole, comes in for the antenna for the receiver, and this will be ground. So what I want to do is, I'm assuming that, well, the viewer is still out on that one, so I want to put in a coil in there on this side with a tuning capacitor, so a shortening coil, how you call that. I'll look it up, I'll come back to you, and I want to put that in there so I can put my antenna into the suitcase. So I just have to roll it out, but you know, it was in those years quite difficult, because you have the right length of your antenna, and higher frequencies that is not so a problem, but if you are down in 80 meters or lower, then it will be a problem, because your length of your antenna, if it is resonant or not, will give you the result you want to, otherwise they won't hear you at all. So anyway guys, enough chatter. You can see what I'm all about, what I'm going to do, and I will come back to you with the next part 10, with the finishing of our power supply. You see, probably I will show you if that 12 volt setup will work. If it works, I will go on to complete the power supply. I will do that, and then I will show you that it works. So that it works on 12 volts, and also on 235. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Enough chatter. I will see you on part 10. Okay.